Hey everybody, this is Bruce. Thanks for watching. Have you ever started a job and you realize it's not going the way you thought it was going to go? I'm working on a screen job right now, and I thought it was going to be the old round spline for doing the screen. Turns out it's the newer flat spline, and it works completely different. And I tried using the old techniques and it didn't work. It was a disaster. So I had to kind of stop and do some research, experiment with the flat spline, figured out how to use it, figured out how it worked, and I want to show that to you, what I've learned, and it'll make using flat spline a lot easier for you. So hope you enjoy the video. Leave some comments down at the bottom if you like it, if you don't like it. If you think I should have included something else, let me know. And always trying to improve the videos. Thanks a lot for watching. All right, before we go outside, let's take a look at what we've got here. Here's the old style of round spline. As you can see, it's just got a regular symmetrical slot. It's got a round spline that gets compressed when it gets put down in there. You press on it with the wheel, it goes down in there, no problem. But let's look at the new flat spline. The flat spline, and this is the key, notice this kind of groove out here to the side. The way this works is you put the spline in this position, you press down on it with the wheel, and what it does is it forces this to go this way, and it ends up like this right over here. And so this, when you do it this way, it's really not that hard. What's almost impossible is if you don't understand how this slot looks, and so you try to do it backwards, and you put the spline this way, and then you try to press down on this, practically impossible. So it's very important that you understand when you're working on a project with flat spline exactly where that groove is, so that it's a lot easier. Because if you do it this way right here, it's really not that bad. And so if you've been struggling and you tried using flat spline and it just was not working, there's a good chance you may have been doing it this way. So check it out a little bit. I'm going to put a picture up right now of a piece of aluminum for building an aluminum like a lanai or something enclosure, a screen enclosure, and it shows you what that groove looks like. And then it'll give you an idea of exactly what's going on. So that's how all this works. So now that we understand the layout of the groove and everything, let's go outside and actually put some screen in. Okay, so here's our screen groove that we're going to put screen in. So it's going to go on like this. And this part here, underneath here, on this edge, is the groove part that I showed you in the previous diagram. And so on this side, it's pretty flat. It's got a little bit of a lip on it. So when we put the round, let me get you a piece here. Here's what we're using. And so when we put the round part in there, we're going to push down on this part here, and it's going to lock itself in on this little tiny lip that's up here at the top. Not much of a lip, but that's going to lock it in. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot harder once we get the screen in, but that's the game plan. That's how it works. And at some point in time, you just got to do it. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm using the round, if you can see it, I'm using the round wheel as opposed to tilted right way, kind of concave. I think it's concave. It's more of a flat edge to it. That's the side that I'm going to use the new flat spline on. Now let's see. I had a piece of flat spline here somewhere already cut. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. This is it. So I'm just going to start it down here at this end. I'm going to put it down in the groove there. See if you can see that. Let's move the camera a little bit. See if we can get a good focus on it. And then I'm going to hold this in and then press in here to get it to go down in that groove. There we go. And it's now starting to go down in there. So you just have to keep kind of pushing it down in with your thumb here and rolling it, being careful not to go through this part of it, and just get that lip tucked down in there so that it holds the screen in there. Here we go. And the more you do it, obviously the better you're going to get at it. So by the time you get done with your screen job, you'll be an expert. But as usual, when you start off learning a skill, you're pretty bad at it. But that's all right. That's the fun of doing stuff by yourself, or not by yourself, but doing your stuff yourself, is that you get to figure out how to do all this kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing here. Pushing it down in the groove. There you go.